Welcome. Welcome to my channel. My friend Matt's here, author, raw vegan chef, coach, raw vegan for 13 years. What else am I missing? Detoxification specialist.
Yep. Just all around awesome guy.
You know what? I had that written down. Gosh, I forgot that one. I just have 5 questions or less because every interview is an hour and can be too long for some people. So we're just going to do the speed round. Get through it. You know I have to ask about water. You're the distilled water guy. I get this question every day, so I just want you to settle it for the channel. My mom has
Perfect.
filtered water,
Mm.
Culligan. Somebody has Berkey. Is that what it's called? There's
Yep.
reverse osmosis. If you're getting out the bad things, does it need to be distilled? Is there a reason that's better? You tell me.
Yeah. Great question. So the only way you know that you're going to get out all the bad stuff is if you distill your water. It is the most consistent and reliable method of removing 99.99% of contaminants. And there's really no other method. Even RO doesn't take out the same range. And any filter based system, the Berkey is a really popular one, and I think it is a good one. So if you are just wanting a filter system, I would probably go with Berkey. But if you really want to be sure that you're taking out all as much as possible of all of the contaminants, you want to get a steam distillation, countertop or an automatic distiller.
Okay, that's the best option. And then the one that's on Amazon for $150 versus the one I have, the one you have that's made in the USA, better brand, blah, blah. Is there a reason that one's better, or tell me?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the mini classic CT is the countertop distiller that we both have. And that distiller is made in the US. It has the best warranty of any distiller you're going to find. And the company is just great, So you get what you pay for. So I know many people that have reached out to me who bought the lower end, expense wise distillers. And 1 to 2 years later, so many people come back to me and tell me they wish they would have gotten the mini classic because yeah, it is a little more expensive than the others, but it lasts. I have family members that have had one for over a decade. I've had mine since 2018, and it lasts. There's testimonials on their website of people having it for 40 plus years. So it's like any other appliance that you're going to purchase. I mean, the only difference is this one prevents you from consuming some very toxic material.
I also notice it's designed differently. Like it has the coil on the bottom, it's a bigger base. Those are cheap. I have a cheap one too, but they don't last like you're saying, and they look different. So I feel like they're not. The filter's different. The filter's bigger on the CT, things like that. So there's a difference in how it's made as well.
Yeah, and the nice thing is the Mini Classic CT has it's what they call a dual vent system that allows VOCs to escape, because that's one thing that can get through in distillation is VOCs, volatile organic compounds. So something like chlorine, that'll evaporate before the water will evaporate, so that can get up through. The thing with those filters or those exhaust vents is that they let that out. And then there's also a post carbon filter that you can use. You don't have to use it, but it is recommended to just make sure that there's no VOCs that got through. And they're very inexpensive and they last, a good amount of time. So
Then I have the right one.
yes.
Since you and I were texting today, I'm going to bring up this topic, and I know it's a large topic, but 100% raw versus 100% cooked. What is the optimal diet? And if raw is perfect, if you're 100% raw your whole life versus a person who's 100% plant-based, what is the difference? What is your view? What do you want people to know about that? And related to that, when people first go raw, they want to be perfect, and then they end up being worse because they screw up and then they go get Thai food as an example. And then like when you're in it long enough, you sort of get the groove and you realize you could have a little bit of steamed vegetables once in a while. It's no big deal. So sort of tie all that together for people that are new to the diet or want to transition, or how you view that.
Yeah, that is a great topic to discuss because it is something that a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people have, I think, a kind of a skewed perception of what is required to be healthy. I think raw food is foundational. It is vital to have a, long, healthy life, in my opinion. But you don't, in from what I've seen, all the evidence is that you don't have to be 100% raw. I think anything from like 80% raw and higher is going to give you some really great benefits. The closer you can get to 100% is great. If you want to be 100% and you can do that sustainably, then that's perfect. But if you're like most people who don't have the greatest access, all year round to great fruits and local greens, or it doesn't have to be local, but the calorie source needs to be there. A lot of people are under eating on this lifestyle, and so it's important to have some flexibility in this imperfect system that we live in. And so our society is not set up to be a raw foodist. And so you just have to do the best that you can do and realize that all of the longest lived civilizations were mostly plant-based, and, they weren't 100% raw. So, that just goes to show that raw food is incredible and it's important, but, there's much more to health than just eating all raw food. So eat as much raw as you can, but don't also neglect a lot of the other healthy lifestyle habits that are required in order to have long lasting vitality and health.
Is that a fly or a moth? What do we
It is
want?
a fly. I didn't kill it because I'm vegan.
That's right. That's right. Well, we like surprise guests, so it's
Yeah.
fine. And the other point is not to just go crazy when you don't do it perfectly, because most sustainable are you laughing at the fly? Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
Um people that can sustain the diet long term end up incorporating a steamed yam once in a while or something like that. So if people think about it differently when they start to transition, they'll probably be fine for the long term. So that's kind of what I know with the people that have asked me questions, things like that. They just want to be perfect and then they end up overcorrecting. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. Okay. Related to that, you're a coach, you've been a coach for many years. So I'm just curious what you receive the most, questions that you receive the most. And I know it's impossible to do in a short amount of time, but what do you tell them for this question that they ask you the most? Or is it what we already covered? Like, how do you transition?
Yeah. Most of the people that I coach are looking for either weight loss or just trying to eat as much raw food as possible. I tend to actually get most people that have been in this lifestyle for a while and they're just struggling to find a way that they can do it sustainably. And so that's what I really try and specialize in, is making this diet enjoyable and sustainable, because I think there's a lot of approaches out there that most people struggle with long term. Like we just talked about, trying to be 100% raw, when it just isn't practical for their given situation. Again, some people can do it. They're in a good situation, or they're just, very determined to do that. But what I try and get across, like I said, is that you don't have to be 100% raw to make this a sustainable way to be healthy long term. So what I would tell people to be healthy and sustainable long term is to go to my website, download the traffic light system for free off my website, and you can learn how to structure your diet in a way that gives you that the good direction on where you're going with your diet, but also builds in some strategic boundaries that are going to help you to, if you need to include a little bit of cooked food, you can do that and not feel guilty about it. And, it just lays it out for you. So it's really super easy to, move forward with and be successful.
Do you notice that the advice for women versus men needs to be different because they're different personalities and emotions and the way they operate?
You know, that's kind of tough. I think for the majority of people, men and women, it's going to be pretty similar. Each person's going to be a little bit different. People do have their specific preferences and, their own way they want to do it. But in terms of men versus women, I don't think there's that big of a difference. Maybe women want to eat a little more fat, but for the most part, I think it's pretty similar.
What about with emotional eating? Like, because women are grow up with a different kind of image of what's they're supposed to look like and things like that, and like men seem to be able to do cleanses better and fasting and things like that, and some women shouldn't do that. Is there a difference in that way?
Yeah, that is something that comes up. So with women, they are definitely more in touch with their
Be
emotional
careful.
side.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's tough. I don't even know how to answer that question, to be
I know.
honest.
There's no way to answer it safely. I'll say it as a woman, I would say that there's a different approach between the two because guys seem to have an easier time in some areas and women so if women do a cleanse, as I've heard a lot of coaches talk about, they might rebound and overcorrect versus a guy who just like Eli can just do it all day long. It's no big deal. So can you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. Is that close?
Yeah. Yeah. It is close. Yep. I'll go with that.
You're so okay. Last question before my last question. See how I added 2 questions?
I love that.
Protein. So we started to talk about that today as well. Some people are coming out saying you need more as you age. Some people, I personally do think if you wanted to build muscle and gain muscle, you would have to increase the protein a little bit. I do think the macros matter. I don't think that necessarily is the biggest thing you should do for health, but for muscle building, I do agree you could add a little more protein. For aging, there is some research to say that you should add a little more protein as you age, not a ton. There's no argument about plant-based versus meat. I don't think that's an issue. So I'm just curious what your views are. Is there a role for protein to be increased ever so slightly within the context of the plant-based diet?
I would say some of these nuances are insignificant if you're living a holistically healthy lifestyle. Personally, I think you just, need more calories if you want to eat, if you want to build muscle, you need to eat more food, and then, consequently you'll get more protein. That's just my thing. To be honest, I haven't studied a lot of the science that's out there, but from what I've witnessed, it's really just about eating more food and lifting weights and doing exercise. In terms of going higher in protein as you get older, again, I think the other healthy lifestyle factors are more important than focusing on your protein. I would say just eat a healthy, whole food, plant-based diet as you get older, and make sure that you maintain physical activity, you're getting good sleep, you have good relationships, you have a good emotional and spiritual life. And I think that's going to be more important than, bumping up your protein a little bit.
Good answer. You also said you haven't researched a lot, but you haven't researched the one aspect. You've researched a ton, just to clarify, because that's all you do
Yes.
all the time, which
Yes.
actually is a good segue to your books. I'm still waiting for one book, hard copy autograph. I haven't
Oh,
received
yes.
it. But what do you want to say quickly about your books? 5-Star Digestion, 21-Day Raw Transformation, and 5-Star Salad Revolution, and any other books you have coming out. There it is. Yes.
There they are right here, guys.
Mhm.
Yeah. So again, like I said earlier, I try to make this diet and lifestyle as enjoyable and sustainable and low maintenance as possible. I think my books will help you do that for sure. Again, there's the fly again. If you use the information in my books, I have gotten great feedback on it. The people that I coach really love the approach that I take to helping people understand a very simple way to structure this diet and lifestyle, and the holistic nature of not just diet. You need all the other pieces as well. So I would recommend people check out the books. Of course, there's a lot of great books out there on this diet and lifestyle, but I really tried my best to encapsulate all of the best parts of everything that I've learned from all these different people and my own experience, and put it into an easy to understand and easy to follow program, basically, for you guys to be successful with.
It's kind of smart too that they're called 5-star, because they have 5 stars on Amazon. Like, you're subliminally programming people to leave you a review.
That
Very,
was the idea. Yeah.
very smart.
Thank you.
Yeah. And do you have any other books coming out?
Yes, I'm actually writing a book on weight loss. It's going to be called 5-Star Weight Loss. And so I'm going to give you guys the program that I like to help people with weight loss, that I found to help me with managing my weight. I lost about initially 30 plus pounds when I first got into this diet and lifestyle. And then using what I teach in these books, I've found a good balance on how to, just have a healthy weight and eat the foods that I love, and not have any cravings, and have really great energy, and, do everything that I want to do. So weight loss, there's a lot that goes into it besides just diet. And I'm going to cover all of the different things that I think are, easy to understand, and, just super, it's kind of common sense stuff, but I'm putting it into, an approach that I think people are going to find really entertaining and easy to follow.
And as your editor, you'll get little bonus things to throw in there as somebody who has been through it as well, on the female side.
Yes, exactly.
Also, this is not relevant, but there was a political debate where a fly landed on one of the candidates. Do you remember that?
No, I don't watch the
I
circus.
can't talk about it. I'll start laughing, but I'm gonna I've been trying not to think about the whole interview, but the fly became a character on Saturday Night Live, and they did a whole thing. It was the fly close up and what he was trying to do. But anyway, hopefully it won't be here for the last question, which is, you have a new show coming out that's live. Can you
What's the question?
can you talk about your new show?
Is this gonna be edited?
Nope.
Good.
Okay.
Good. I'm crying.
This is why I'm not your first guest, by the way, on your show.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to consider a fly trap.
Oh yeah, I could go to gallery view now.
What?
I need to go to speaker view is what I'm saying. Okay. Here we go. Okay. And you're on. Okay.
Do you want me to answer right now?
Oh, hold on. Okay. Yes, please tell me about your live show.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you the skit later. Okay, no, the world wants to know, Matt. Tell me about your show.
All right, yeah. So my upcoming show is called the Raw Intuition Health Show. I had to really dig deep to find that name.
Mhm.
And it's going to be just me going live with a different guest each week. And we're going to have a specific topic on health and wellness and all sorts of topics related to, health and diet and lifestyle and all these things. So I think people are really going to enjoy it. It's going to be so, it's, it's going to be packed with information and inspiration, and yeah, and it's free. So tune in.
That is a good price. Darn it, I'm gonna have to switch to say goodbye. Why don't you're the guy with the voice. You should just take us out. Thank you for watching. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm fine. My nose is running and here we go. Are we good? I think we're good. We covered everything.
That was everything that I know.
We just got it all out. We're gonna bring Ava on. So I'm gonna end. Okay, so we'll properly end. Thank you, Matt, for your time. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I almost called you Ava.
What?
I almost called you Ava.
Well, we've neglected her. She's gonna know why when she watches this interview. Should I stop this one and we'll bring her on?
Sure. Yeah.
I'll explain in the captions why I'm a train wreck. Thank you for watching. Okay, here you go. Oh man.